gonna be scary. Good morning. I now call the April 6th, 2026 Neighborhood Partners Fund Board meeting to order. Has this meeting been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the Nevada open meeting law?
Yes, it has.
Excellent. Would the Deputy City Clerk please call the roll?
Thank you. Acting Chair Becker,
Here.
Member Tramp, Member Flank,
Here.
Member Lindsay,
Here.
Member Churchill, Member Lares, Member Lascano,
Here.
Member Estrada, Member Goodsell, Member Wong, Member Trevino, Member Tejaje, Member Iturralde. Thank you. We do have a quorum.
Thank you so much. And for people on the board, if you want your mic to come on, there's a little button with a person that has like things coming out of their mouth. You can turn it on and off there in front of you to your right. All right, so agenda item 3 is public comment. Comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, please come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Is there anyone here wishing to speak during the public comment period? All right, seeing none, I will close item 3. Move on to item 4. This is for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference of the regular meetings from last year, June 9th and June 24th.
I move to approve.
Excellent. We have a motion to approve the minutes. Everyone in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, nay? All right, motion carries unanimously. The minutes from our meetings last year in June are approved. All right, and item number 5 is discussion for possible action regarding the election of the chair and vice chair.
And Chair, I nominate to re-elect Liz Becker as chair.
Thank you. Any other nominations? All right, seeing none, the motion is to nominate myself as chair. Everyone wishing to re-elect me as chair, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, nay? Thank you so much. All right, and now we have the election for vice
Excuse
chair.
me. I'm sorry, and that motion did carry.
Oh, yes, thank you. All right, and now election for vice chair. Are there not any nominations for vice chair? I move to nominate Matthew Tramp as vice chair of the board. Any other nominations? Seeing none, I will open the voting. So everyone wishing to elect Matthew Tramp as vice chair of the Neighborhood Partners Fund Board, please say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, nay? All right, it looks like motion carries unanimously. All right, with that business out of the way, we move on to item number 6, and that is the report by Yohaska Ikabalzeta, the Senior Community Program Technician, for the fiscal year 26-27 Neighborhood Partners Fund Program Guidelines and Application Process.
Good morning. This is Josuke Calzeta, Senior Community Program Technician with the Department of Neighborhood Services. The Neighborhood Partners Fund is a matching grant program designed to increase community engagement through physical improvement projects, neighborhood education, recreation, and cultural initiatives, and crime and public safety projects. The Neighborhood Partners Fund guidelines outline the criteria for this program. Neighborhood-based associations such as homeowners associations and neighborhood associations and business associations may apply for up to $10,000 annually. Associations must be registered with the City of Las Vegas Department of Neighborhood Services, and registration is free. Associations are required to match their grant request. That match must include volunteer labor, may also include in-kind donations and cash. A minimum of 25% of the match is required to come from volunteer labor, valued at $34.79 per hour this year. Associations can meet their match entirely with volunteer labor. This is a competitive grant process with a total budget of $80,000. The application process opened in January 12, 2026 and closed March 12, 2026. Neighborhood Services staff provided 3 workshops in January and February to provide guidance on applying. 2 of the workshops were in person and 1 was virtual. Notice of the grant application was provided by press release on Nextdoor social media and through the council office's electronic newsletters. In addition, Neighborhood Services notified associations that applied the previous year, as well as notified all registered associations and HOAs with a valid email address. The Neighborhood Partners Fund will hear the Neighborhood Partners Fund Board will hear presentations from the applicants in this morning's meeting and will make funding recommendations at their meeting on April 20th, 2026. The funding recommendations will be forwarded for possible approval to the mayor and city council at the city council meeting scheduled for June 17th, 2026. Associations that are awarded funding will be required to sign an agreement with the city prior to the project starting and funds being expended. Applicants that are awarded funding will have from early July 2026 to June 30th, 2027 to complete their projects. As a reminder, anyone on the board that may have any conflict of interest, be sure to let the city attorney know at this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. For the record, this is Chair Becker. I just want to put on the record a thank you to Yohaska and everyone at the Neighborhood Services Division. We have more applications this year than we have ever had, and I think this is wonderful, and you guys really vetted everything for us, so it's in the system properly, and we're able to just take everyone's application and see where you're gonna go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up item 7, which is the presentation from each organization. I believe you have 5 minutes, and there's gonna be a little timer for you, and you're gonna come here to the desk, introduce yourselves, and present. And I would also like to say we're looking at a lot of stuff up here, so please don't think we're checking our phones or anything. We have a lot of paperwork, and if you have anything to hand out, you can hand it to staff, and they can get it to us if you have something on paper. And if any member wants to speak, make sure that you just let me know. I'll ask, and then when you go to speak, please state your name for the record so that on the record it's easy to see which member was talking. All right, so we're going to do item 7 and 7A concurrently because 7A is one other association that was added to the agenda. So we're going to go in order, it looks like alphabetically, and then when we are done, we will close this agenda item. So the first homeowners association or organization is Beverly Green Neighborhood Association.
I'm sorry, but you need to read the entire item. Yes, item 7, yes.
Apologies, let me read all of them. So item 7, the ones that we are going to be looking at today are the presentations to the board submitted by Beverly Green Neighborhood Association, Buffalo Coalition Neighborhood Association, Copper Palms Homeowners Association, Crestwood Neighborhood Association, Francisco Park Neighborhood Association, Fremont Street Loft Homeowners Association, Glen Heather Estates Neighborhood Association, Grand Entries Neighborhood Association, Hillside Heights Neighborhood Association, Hillstone Estates 2 Homeowners Association, and the Rancho Nevada Estates Homeowners Association. Thank you. All right, and if Beverly Green is ready, you may go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you, and thank you all for having us today. My name is Jason Dedrich, D-E-A-D-R-I-C-H. I'm the president of Beverly Green Historic Neighborhood.
Hi, my name is Will Stutz. That's W-I-L-S-T-U-T-Z, and my company is Mid-Mod Makers and architectural ironwork and things like that.
So we're here today to talk about our proposal for a sign. This is part of a beautification project that we're looking for Beverly Green. Our friend Will here has designed signs throughout the city and done a fantastic sign at Paradise Palms, which was our inspiration. If anyone's familiar with the big sign in Paradise Palms, it just looks fantastic and gives great kind of exposure to the neighborhood. So we're going to kind of emulate that in our neighborhood. And so this would be on the corner of 6th Street in St. Louis. And did you want to talk about the architecture around it?
Yeah, so the inspiration for this sign was actually taken from a piece that Beverly Green already has. It was a neighborhood sign that Mark Kaufman had designed, and it's hanging throughout Beverly Green. So we took elements from that and worked together, and we created this sign. There's on the corner here, there's a new block wall and planter where this will be installed. It'll be installed in the dirt area with concrete into the planter area. And the whole idea was to make the sign look as if maybe it had been there all these years since the beginning of Beverly Green, but also with elements with the piece that Mark designed that's already hanging throughout Beverly Green. We're also, there were some concerns about vandalism and graffiti, so we're going to apply a ceramic coating to this, which will help prevent oil-based and water-based paints from sticking. And from our research, it should do a pretty good job of preventing that, or at least make it easy to wipe off.
And then I will say, because this is on a homeowner's property, we have a full permission letter from the homeowner with the full complete release of making sure the city's not involved and they're going to be fully responsible for the signage. And of course, the installation will be by Will and his team. Any questions for us about the sign?
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm clear over here on the end.
Hi.
Is there any lighting involved in this project, or are there street lights there? I'm thinking in terms of preventing vandalism, and it's not that
Yeah.
that has anything to do with it, it's just pure curiosity.
Yeah, great.
Apologies, sorry. Board member, can you please state your name for the record? No, come on up, Robert. Mary Ann.
And
could
I'm
you
Mary Ann
Uh,
please state your
Goodsell.
name?
A great question. So yes, it is on a street corner that is well lit. The city recently installed stop signs with flashing red lights also on that intersection.
Okay.
The corner of the intersection also has a church on one corner, a temple on another corner, and then a residence on the other. So there is sufficient lighting kind of on the corner.
And then the landscaping will be just below the sign, and that's a planter box that it's
Yeah,
going
there's a
into?
planter box in front of it.
Okay, nice, thank you.
Also, I'll also add that the homeowner in this planter box does have wiring for low voltage lighting, which is his responsibility. And we have discussed the possibility of using that to possibly uplight the sign as well.
And so our complete vision would include some cactuses and some kind of like small shrubbery kind of in front of the sign to kind of give it a little bit of a nature look.
Thank you. And I would, this is Chair Becker for the record. I would also like to note that Member Estrada is present. Are there any other questions for Beverly Green Association?
Yes, this is Member Wong. In your rendering, is that the exact font you're going to use? The Beverly Green part? Okay. And then what went into the selection process for that font?
You want to jump in?
I'll switch with you.
And can you also state your name for the record?
Yes,
Thank
my
you.
name is Mark Kaufman, Kaufman. I'm a resident of Beverly Green. I have been for close to 10 years now. I am a graphic designer. I work here in town. And I don't know, about 5 or 6 years ago, we came before the board and for this to gain matching funds for our first signage program. So it was through research, through many of the signs that existed and are accurate to the time. So that was approved then, and the signs, the initial signs were installed. Other neighborhoods then copied that and have their own signs. So I'm a graphic designer of close to 50 years. So it's just through research and development and putting that in front of our neighborhood association and getting approval on that.
And it's important for us to stay consistent with the rest of the signage in the neighborhood. So the signs that Mark and his team did, if you kind of drive around the neighborhood, you'll see kind of up on the street lights and their signage using the same font, same colors.
And we also subsequently had 2 other signage programs and a dog bag station. So they all use the same font and the same color palette. So we're trying to brand the neighborhood and let people know where they are at any given time and, you know, pride of place, that kind of thing.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from board members?
Matthew Tramp for the record. Now, you got consent from the owner of the house for the potted area because that's their property. So what would possibly happen if this house changed ownerships? Would the new owner have the right now to remove it then, or
Yeah,
is it would be part of the clause when they change ownerships, or?
Certainly, we could discuss that with them. At this point, the documentation we kind of have with the homeowners, it would go with the new homeowner. It'd be their responsibility to maintain it and keep the sign up. So,
So right now, legally, if they change in the future, a new owner could request to have it removed.
sure.
So there's no legal.
No,
Okay.
no, we'd move it somewhere else.
Okay.
Any other questions from board members? Yes.
Hi, Member Trevino for the record. I am looking at your donation pledge letter. I just want to understand how the professional services donation will be. It's the amount of $1,350. How does that?
That was. I am acting as a consultant on this project. I'm very happy to collaborate with Will and the Neighborhood Association. I'm a former vice president of Neighborhood Association. So I am volunteering and donating my time. So it's based upon my professional hourly rate and with an estimation of, doing things like site visits, consulting, providing, files from our archives. So just estimated as to, I think that would have been about 10 hours of my professional time. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other questions? No? Okay, so this is Chair Becker for the record. I just wanted to note that I talked to Yohaska this morning. The Zoom Grants portal shows us like past applications to this program from each organization. Some organizations' past projects are not showing up in Zoom Grants, and sometimes that's apparently having to do with when leadership changes at the organizations, new passwords are created inside Zoom Grants. So I just wanted to make people aware that sometimes we can see past projects and sometimes we cannot. So if you want to mention past projects or have any pictures from them to show us, that's appreciated because sometimes we can look in the computer and see and sometimes we can't. But we can see the one that you got, 23, 24. Okay? Yes?
Sorry, if I could just have one more moment. I just was going to read the actual statement to refer back to your question, Mr. Tramp. The waiver states property transfer disclosure. In the event that the property is sold or transferred, I agree to disclose the existence of the sign to the new owner. I understand that a future property owner may elect to remove the sign and that the city of Las Vegas bears no responsibility should that occur. And of course, we're happy to modify that as needed.
All right, thank you so much for your presentation. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for your time.
Apologies. All right, Chair Becker for the record. If you have that document that you just referenced and it's not on file, make sure to get it to Yohaska, okay? All right, thank you. Okay, moving on with item 7, the next organization we will be hearing from is the Buffalo Coalition Neighborhood Association.
So you guys have it up there. We don't need to. You have the presentation?
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. And you can just both state your names and then go ahead.
Good morning, Dina Cianchetti, last name Cianchetti, President of the Buffalo Coalition.
And good morning, Leanna Alvarez, ALVAREZ, Buffalo Coalition Community Relations.
Good morning. Thank you for having us here with the Buffalo Coalition this morning for the grant. We have received past grants. We want to continue to do the same thing if we receive this grant. Enhancing neighborhood safety, I think people know that that's one of our number one priorities. Strengthen community bonds. We have 172 homes within our coalition. And when a new neighbor moves in, they're welcome with a pack that says everything about the Buffalo Coalition. We get them signed up on Signal, which is our safety app that we use. Ongoing improvements with beautification projects that brings everybody together in the community. As I was saying, we have maintain a robust neighborhood watch program. And on our Signal, as you can see, we have 2 things on Signal. One is the alert. If we see a suspicious car, suspicious person, that goes out to everybody, all 172 homes in our coalition. And then we have our news, which is just updating people on events, community things that we're doing. And this is just 2 things on that went out to the neighborhood. Does anybody know what this is or what it means? I just want to make sure it's not someone tagging a house for burglary. As you can see, there was a yellow arrow spray painted on the wall to that house. So that went out to everybody. And then another one that was an alert just saying that Sahara was shut off at Buffalo because there was a massive car accident there. So just things like that. And when there is a suspicious person or a car in the neighborhood and we send out the signal, you will have many neighbors out checking that out, checking to see who's on our neighborhood that shouldn't be. Because sometimes they are coming through the neighborhoods to see if someone's home, if they're not home, and monitoring our whereabouts, basically. So that goes out to everybody. We also have neighborhood watch signs in every yard in our neighborhood. And we also host community-wide self-defense courses for all ages.
And then just to interject, that is something moving forward that as part of this safety, is having somebody come in, a local business, to invite not only the neighbors, but as well as some of the members of the local community churches, et cetera, to take part in the self-defense class.
We also maintain solid relationships with Metro. We did it last year. We're doing it again this year. We're presenting them with over 80 stuffed animals for the traumatized children. So we're giving those out. We're doing that next Thursday, actually. And then our monthly trash cleanup, which is the first Saturday of every month throughout the year. All the volunteers get orange shirts, they get hats, they get trash carts, trash bags, gloves. It keeps the neighborhood safe and clean. You wouldn't believe the stuff we pick up every single month. That would blow you away if you saw some of the stuff. The last time we filled 3 pickup trucks full of trash off of our neighborhood. We also do a regular community gatherings weekly, Thursday morning at 10 a.m. at the Desert Wind Coffee Shop. Everybody's welcome. We do it every Thursday at 10 a.m. And it's coordinating upcoming events, working on the grant, talking about safety concerns. We have guest speakers, and just general information out to the neighbors. Also strengthen our community bonds with doing regular events like the annual block party. We have guest speakers, we welcome the new neighbors, and then also with the old neighbors are going table to table, just catching up with everybody. I think it's really good. We talk about safety, we talk about our roundabouts that we got put in, we talk about the speed bumps, upcoming events. We also have 2 food trucks, a dessert truck. We also do games with the adults and the children with prizes with everybody. We do a silent auction. The first year we did it, we had 35 people attend. Last year we had 125. We hope to exceed that this year. And other events that we do that we want to continue to do is the coffee on the curb, the ice cream social, and the pizza party. This keeps neighbors, they get to ask questions. They get to talk about what their concerns are. And then they also get to voice their opinions. So we like having that. And we do that throughout the year. And then we've also have received grants before, this grant before, and we put in the beautiful metal buffaloes, which we still maintain to this day. We keep them waxed, we keep them cleaned. We plant, when the plants die, we replant them. We just got new solar lights for them. And then we also take care of our fire hydrants. We have 23 fire hydrants that we all paint. We get on our knees, we have all the paint, we paint the curbs, we paint the fire hydrants, and it's a lot of fun. And I think it really brings community together, and it makes people want to take pride in their community. And then again, for this year, we want to get more of our neighborhood watch signs because they do get destroyed with the weather here, the wind, the sun, and then more supplies of our shirts, our hats, and our t-shirts. And besides wearing them to all the events, people walk their dogs. They go to the park, and people everywhere know that we have a neighborhood watch in the Buffalo Coalition. And then also to support our local businesses for the events I was just speaking about. These are all of our vendors, and it keeps the community bond going, and it supports local businesses. And that's it. And we want to just thank everybody again for having us here today. We love our community and our neighbors. We hope you consider us for the grant again.
Any questions?
Board Member Goodsell, just if I can just ask a quick question. As a coalition, are you an association like an HO? Do you have any other funds available to you?
No. So we are not a formal association. There are some smaller sub-associations within our boundaries, but the majority of our homeowners are not a part of an association. So all of the funds that we collect outside of the grant are donations. We do have some neighbors that prefer to donate time. We have other neighbors that don't want to donate the time or aren't able to, so they donate funds. So between those donations, and then, as Dina mentioned, we do the silent auction, where either neighbors donate items for auction or we get local businesses to donate, and all of those funds go directly back to the coalition. So there is no other funding.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes.
Okay, Member Trevino for the record. So I have your vendor cost estimate. Can you talk a little bit about, you have 10 items, where there's 5 food trucks, pizza. Where are you gonna use all this? What events?
So we have the annual block party as one, that's 3 trucks right there. And then we also have our ice cream social, our pizza event. So we have different events throughout the year.
Yeah, so we have scheduled events. We try to do one every other month. And then also we have a coffee on the curb as well. And then sometimes we bring in other items for when we do like our trash services, et cetera.
Our big one is the annual block party. That's a big one.
Member?
Yes.
Oh, Member Flame. A quick question about the self-defense class. How many participants do you think you'll have?
So we have
Is
it, we have it estimated at between 30 and 40 participants. So this is kind of a thought of a series of classes over the years. This is kind of an initial introduction one. So kind of being more like general, more about awareness. We do have varying age groups, so we wanted to take that into consideration as well. So it's not necessarily like a hand-to-hand combat class. It's more being aware of what things like triggers to look out for. Things like Dina mentioned, maybe perhaps something being tagged on a homeowner's gate, when you're walking, people out walking their dogs, that kind of a general.
So, this is more of an awareness type class. It's not really a self-defense.
It's a combination. We didn't want to go in with something on the initial year that was too intimidating or a little bit too in-depth. The person that we talked to about doing this is somebody that's done these all varying types of classes. So from as minimal as just awareness to she does an entire class on like pepper spray and mace protection moving forward. So we wanted to kind of keep it this initial year to not be so intimidating and then perhaps make it a building.
We want to try to get as many people there as possible on the first go-round.
So what you have in your proposal is for one class?
Yes.
Okay. The second thing I wanted to ask about was the T-shirts and the heat press. What's an invoice or something from Amazon?
Yeah, so in the past, we have ordered the T-shirts and then we've paid a local printer to actually print the T-shirts. We have found that obviously that's not the most cost-effective way. So one of our local neighbors who is in charge, they handle Down syndrome in Southern Nevada, they recently purchased a press that was a couple $100, and then they get the laminates printed. And so it was a much more cost-effective way. So the plan is that we would get the press, order the heat logos, and that we would all volunteer hours and self-print the logos onto the T-shirts and hats to make it more cost-effective.
So how many T-shirts and hats is it for the whole community or
Yes, so we continue as neighbors come out. Obviously, we wear these a lot, so you can see like over time washing them that they either peel apart or fall apart. So we do have replacements, as Dina mentioned as well, with the signs, with the wind and the weather and the sun, that those also get damaged. I think I'm on my third one from my front yard. So it's not a massive, it's as individuals come and volunteer, we give those initial sign up things.
And then just so you know, also for every event, we bring the signs, the T-shirts, and the hats. So if someone does have a T-shirt that's old or ripped or they lost their sign, they can get it at any time. And they can also get it at our Thursday meetings also.
Okay, thank you. The time is up, but I did see that Member Estrada had a question. Do you want to do one quick question? Thanks.
Yes. board members, Trotter, I didn't see any estimates from the vendors. Did you provide those?
Those are all in there. Yes, I don't know.
Yep.
Joe Haska could probably answer that question better.
I didn't bring a copy of that with me, I'm sorry.
Actually,
Well, I see them on the attachment, but I don't see the individual.
Yeah, all of them were uploaded individually. We didn't obviously bring them as part of the presentation.
They're in the Zoom grants on the vendor cost estimate. I don't know if you can.
Thank you.
This is Joaska, Neighborhood Services. It's listed here on the vendor cost estimate donor sheet, but what Mr. Strada is referring to is like actual estimates from like the food truck. We don't see them here attached. We just have the vendor cost estimate donor sheet filled out.
Yeah, they should all be uploaded. I can double check with the individual that was uploading everything and make sure that those are on there today, but everything was provided.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Member, Councilwoman, Goodsell, just one final question. Of your entire Buffalo Coalition annual budget, what is that total budget, and what percentage would this grant be of that entire budget? Your expenditures annually?
So I would say that we're probably at the grant budget with the increased amount is probably at about 75% of our total budget. With the increase. Obviously, this is the first year that the grant has increased to 10. Previously, it was at 5, so it was probably previously between 25 and 35% of our total budget.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Yes, you as well. All righty. The next organization on the agenda is the Copper Palms Homeowners Association. Thank you so much for being here. Please state your names for the record, and then you can go ahead.
I am Aaron Thomas, Vice President for the Copper Palms Homeowners Association.
Yeah, Linus Jester, President, Copper Palms HOA, LINNESCHESTER.
So hello, Neighborhood Partner Fund Board, and thank you for your time this morning. I know you're all very busy over the next 2 days, so I will keep my remarks brief and succinct. I and both President Chester are here today as representatives of Copper Palms Homeowners Association, a 17-building, 248 condominium unit diverse community of over 500 residents in the northwest corner of the city, located at 1150 North Buffalo Drive, between Washington Avenue and Lake Mead Boulevard in Ward Number 1. In 2024, as directed by Nevada State Law, AB 356, we were required to remove all non-functional turf, commonly known as decorative grass, and replace it with drought-tolerant landscaping, which, as you can imagine, was no easy task. After both Mr. Chester and I coordinated and oversaw the mandatory turf conversion, which was completed in April of 2025, there remain 3 large grassy areas in our complex that survived the conversion. With that said, our project presented today was selected based on input from all board members and comments from residents about improving the overall community. And as such, these 3 remaining grassy areas, we have selected 3 decorative antique-style Renaissance benches made with recycled plastic planks and cast aluminum frames, as we see here. Location 1, location 2, and location 3. They are selected from Belson Outdoors of Naperville, Illinois, for both their design and durability, and are perfect for low-maintenance outdoor recreation areas. Back to slide 4. They will be mounted and secured in 90-inch by 30-inch by 4-inch concrete slab foundations provided and installed by Keller Davis Contracting. This is a one-time project. Upon grant approval, the project will be completed within 30 to 60 days. The total cost of the project is $9,644, of which the acquisition cost of the 3 benches is $4,844, and the cost of the concrete pads, including bench mounting and installation, is $4,800. We are requesting funding in the amount of $6,000 with Copper Palms HOA contributions totaling $6,079 towards the project, including $3,644 in cash and volunteer hours totaling $2,435. Project team involvement of both myself and President Chester will include selecting the ideal permanent locations for the benches and overseeing their purchase, delivery, and installation. Involvement will also include submitting required updates to the grant office. We believe that the benches will be an inviting place for people to gather, talk, and enjoy the property. It will also improve the appearance of the community, which will encourage people to be more engaged in maintaining the overall environment of our complex. We thank the board for their previous approval of our 2024 project, and we respectfully ask the board to grant us funding approval for this project. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair Becker, for the record. I would just like to make a note that inside Zoom grants, it's still saying that they're requesting $10,000. But clearly you're requesting $6,000.
yes.
So I think that's just a technical error inside Zoom grants. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Go ahead.
Board Member Goodsell, is there can you flip back to your location of the?
Sure.
Those.
We have 3 locations, yes.
Do any of those have like pathways going to them for wheelchair accessibility on any of those?
We have paths on concrete, and there are sidewalk paths that make them accessible. There wouldn't be any ADA compliant directly to the bench. We have to be very careful with the benches as there's irrigation lines that run in a grid, so we can only put them in particular places. But you could wheel a wheelchair from the sidewalk to the bench with no hassle. It's very firm ground.
Okay, so is this what's helping you qualify for AB 356 by putting this bench in? You no longer have to remove additional turf because you've made it functional?
Yeah, we're all done. We've got our grant from South, the water,
Okay.
SDNA, SCWA. We've already, that's
Okay.
all completed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we had to get in early to make sure we got all that rebate money too before that ran out.
Member Flink?
Thank you. I think this is a good idea for people that like to walk their pets. I had a question about the actual application information. You have something in here about sun awning over the community swimming pool, public safety for purchasing bark cessation.
Yeah, that was a $57,000 cost on that, so that's no longer even
Oh,
in our.
okay,
Yeah,
so-
That
that's,
was early in
Well,
the process.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
We had a few things.
We had
Okay.
to make some adjustments, yes.
Okay.
So we had
so
the idea of an
I-
awning, we had the gymnasium that we were gonna do outdoor gym, we had the benches, and we settled on the benches as
Oh,
to be
okay.
the most appropriate to go
So
forward for the grant.
maybe we can get your application updated
Yeah.
on that information.
Yeah, that awning was quite expensive.
A question about the 3,600 from the HOA. Is that, has that been approved through the HOA?
Yes.
Was
It has.
voted on?
Yes.
Have you provided us with I don't know, is that something that's a matter of being voted on in
We're
your
the
board
votes.
meetings? Oh, you two are the board?
We're the majority, so,
Yeah.
yeah. But the entire
okay.
board, though,
Yeah.
is on board with this.
Yeah,
They want
Oh,
this.
it's all
okay.
unanimous.
So I don't know if we'll need something to show that, yes, in fact, the board has approved that. That would be up to neighborhood partners or neighborhood services for verification. Because with other donations, we have them actually like submit something other than the form from the city. So that's a question, if that's something that's needed.
Sorry, this is Joska from Neighborhood Services. So what she's referring to is if we have some kind of, if the donation pledge letter is filled out, if it's like equipment donation or professional services is when we ask for like an invoice from the professional services, or if it was equipment, we would ask for like proof of that, like quote or something like that. When it comes to like a cash partnership, we typically don't. But I mean, we can always ask them if they are willing to submit something. But or as far as the guidelines, we don't ask for like anything as far as the like, I guess, cash partnership donation.
Well-
like this pledge letter with their signature is usually what suffices.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because it's HOA donation, not from like an individual that say, yeah, I'm gonna write you a check. A homeowners association, you know, it's a group of people, it's not just one person. So that's why I was thinking something like that was voted on in a board meeting, if that is the case. But that was just a thought. Understanding the distinction between individual donations and then something from an organization.
Councilman Flank, Linus, just for the record, we can provide that letter attesting to the contribution supported by the board.
Okay. I think that would be good. One last thing, did you guys take a look at vendors, like local vendors?
Oh, yes.
Okay. That's why you're that far out of state.
So I'm glad you brought that up. There's no local manufacturers for outdoor equipment. Actually, in the state of Nevada, we don't have any. It's all retail or third-party wholesalers. There's very actually few outdoor manufacturers, and Dawson is really well known. We did look at some of the big box stores for less expensive benches, but the quality of those simply won't last a Las Vegas summer. If you read some of the reviews on those, even though they're 1/10 the cost, they don't last very long. The recycled plastic and the aluminum frame with the concrete slabs, that's 10 years minimum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Chair Becker. We have time for one more question, I think.
Matthew Tramp for the record. Are you using reserve funds, or do you have a general fund that on your budget that for projects for these for like your park or your courtyard area?
Councilmember Tramp, this is Linus, just for the record, this will come out of reserve funds.
And have you guys kept your reserve fund number goals? I know as being an HOA member,
Yeah.
everybody is struggling. We have state laws. We're supposed to keep a certain number.
We're at
And
94% before the next audit.
wish
So,
we
yeah,
were like
we're
that.
fully
but
funded.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And then just a gentle reminder for everyone, sometimes it's hard for the person taking notes to keep track of who's talking. So I appreciate you for saying for the record your name.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Our next association is Crestwood Neighborhood Association. Thank you so much. Feel free to just start when you're ready and state your name for the record before you begin, okay?
Good morning, my name is Freddie Godinez,
Ashley Lee, HOA President.
and we are here representing the Crestwood Neighborhood Association for the NPF grant called Neon Lights. It's a Crestwood Neighborhood Joint Day of Action in Music Art with collaboration from Hillside and Huntridge Neighborhoods. I wanted to discuss first current MPF completions. We recently completed 44 Crestwood signs that will be installed by the City of Las Vegas. We had marketing material in both English and Spanish, and also a taco truck day of celebration.
And I've been the HOA president for the last 10 years, and I just want to acknowledge all of you for thank you. This is going to be our 7th year of applying for the NPF, and it's really transformed our neighborhood, so we super appreciate that. These are just some pictures of some of our past NPF grants that have been really successful with 2 different tree plantings, neighborhood parties, and also some art installations in our neighborhood as well. And we also collaborated unofficially last year with the Huntridge neighborhood and helped them with their vintage party last year.
So for this grant, the challenge is Crestwood residents lack a dedicated neighborhood infrastructure for pet owners, and our streets need regular activation to build community pride. This project brings lasting improvements, permanent art installations, a cleaner neighborhood, and community celebration that unites downtown Las Vegas. It'll be the first ever collaborative neighborhood MPF grant. It'll be done in 3 phases. We have a dog installation station phase. We have the morning day of action, followed by the community celebration. For the dog installation, we're using a local metal art sculptor, Mendra Sculptures. We will be installing 30 individual unique art pieces through Huntridge, Hillside, and Crestwood. Crestwood will receive 10 of these. This will include 5 to 10 volunteers, 4 hours each. These are some of the art sculptures currently in the neighborhoods. The day of action will include a morning neighborhood cleanup. Residents will clean and beautify the streets of Crestwood, picking up litter, removing weeds, debris, and taking pride in the community. During that day, they will receive wristbands for the community celebration. The wristbands will also be available for pickup by residents who are unable to pick up or volunteer for the event, and is open to everyone as well. For the community celebration, Crestwood specifically is in charge of the cultural programming and entertainment. This will include lighting, AV, master of ceremonies, children activities. Huntridge will be in charge of the live entertainment and food, and Hillside will be in charge of family activities and interactive entertainment. Some of the food vendors that we're partnering with are all local vendors. Old Manny's, new taco shop in the Arts District. Yukon Pizza has offered to be a part of the event as well. Because we don't have a set date specifically, their contribution is yet to be determined. Music is a universal language that brings people together. So we'll have live local DJs, community-based, family-driven art and music festival. The event will be themed around neon, so we'll provide neon accessories and fluorescent face paint. We'll have live activations. We'll be partnering with a local entertainment company here in Las Vegas to have silk walkers, mirror performers, LED performers, street performers. Now, the event is more than just a day. This is a community roots. This is what we're trying to establish. The event helps reconnect neighbors who may have lived near each other for years without ever meeting. The day of action, the installation day, the day of celebration. These are 3 separate touch points for relationship building with the community. It can be a catalyst for future by establishing a working coalition of multiple neighborhoods, a partner network of organizations, and a proven event model that this becomes a blueprint for annual and recurring downtown activations. And we have a lasting impact with the 30 custom art sculptures that are being installed in the downtown neighborhoods. We have some partners already in the community that are going to be part of this event. Friends of Huntridge Park is going to be the strategic anchor partner with logistics, permits, and insurance and park access for the community. We have Nuwu, ATB Arts District, the Center, and the Las Vegas Academy. These are all community organizations that will be a part of this event, so really creating something that's just beyond the neighborhoods as well. We're asking for $8,000. We have about $4,500 in-kind donations and over $8,000 in volunteer hours. Again, this is to distribute the day of action. We'll have the dog installations and the community event celebration. This is the first of its kind multi-neighborhood MPF collaboration in Las Vegas history. With your support, we can build something that lasts for years to come. So let's create something together. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is Chair Becker. I just want to note that this is indeed the first that we've seen one of these. It's really cool. I know it's going to be a heavy lift, and I really appreciate all the prior planning that you've obviously put into this. So I don't have any official questions. Anybody else have a question?
This is Board Member Wong. So I do see the proposals from the other 2 associations. So is the idea fiscally to pull together, assuming that all 3 of you receive the grant, to pull together like a giant piggy bank of 18,000 for all this 3-phase project?
Yeah, so we had to get really creative because it is the first time that we're doing this together. But yes, this is the same event that we're putting on together. The day of action will be a day of action individually for the neighborhoods. And then each of the neighborhoods will also get the art sculptures, the dog stations with funds as well.
For the record, Board Member Goodsell, how many homes in yours and all 3 of, do you know how many there are in all together? A good guesstimate?
I know that there's 550 homes in Crestwood because I actually did
just
inventory.
yours, okay.
For just Crestwood, yes. And I would say probably 300 to 400 maybe between Hillside and Huntridge,
Combined?
each
And
individually.
each of them, okay, so over 1,000 homes.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And this is Ashley. I just want to add some of our other adjoining neighborhood associations like Beverly Green, Francisco Park, John S. Park will also be participating unofficially. So we're looking at about 5,000 homes total that might be impacted, but 3 particular neighborhood associations are applying for the grant.
Yeah, so because some of the neighborhoods already had plans for the MPF grants, we wanted them to be able to participate. So they will be potentially participating with their own day of action, volunteer cleanup for their individual neighborhoods, and then joining us together for the community celebration.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Member Estrada.
Board Member Estrada, I had a question regarding the Friends of Huntridge Park. Their permitting, you have 3 permits that, I mean, each of the neighborhoods submitted a pledge letter for permitting. Do you need 3 of them, or do you just need 1?
So there, in terms of the pledge letter,
Yeah, each of them applied, or each of them have a pledge. In fact, one has 3 on it. One of the neighbors has 3 pledge letters.
well, there should only be 1 pledge letter per neighborhood. Friends of Huntridge Park has the access through the city of Las Vegas and Parks and Recreation. So they will be helping support the neighborhood associations with all of the event logistics. So some of the volunteers will be coming from Friends of Huntridge Park, coordinating potentially people for safety to access the park will be coordinated by Friends of Huntridge Park. All of the logistics in terms of coordinating with the city of Las Vegas and permitting that is required for the specific day of activation will be coordinated through Friends of Huntridge Park. So they're doing a lot of the lifting work in terms of what the event is actually happening so that the organizations can focus more on what's important for their own individual communities.
But it's just 1 park, right?
It is just 1 park,
But you need
yes.
3 permits for 1 park?
No,
Or
it should
one
only be,
per,
it's only going to be 1 permit. It'll be a permit just for the day of the event.
Because each neighborhood, what I see, has a pledge letter for the same thing.
Yes, the pledge letter is based on the assumed number of hours that Friends of Huntridge Park is committing to support the events because it is 3 neighborhoods that they're supporting. Those hours help support, which will mean that the pledge letter was given for 3 different neighborhoods. Mhm.
And this is Ashley. I just want to acknowledge too the Huntridge Vintage Park that was last year. This is a result of Freddie and I meeting each other for the first time and him actually taking a leadership role in the neighborhood. So that is also an organic hope that we have with a lot of different young professionals and people that want to be involved in the community so that we can create more leaders in the community so we can also include more neighborhoods to be more involved. And we have a couple of neighborhoods that haven't applied ever that have applied this year because of Freddie's leadership. So want to acknowledge you for that.
Thank you.
Chair Becker, for the record, kudos to you. That is wonderful. That's what we like to see. So any other questions from board members?
I have a quick question.
Go ahead, Member Flank.
Member Flank, looking at your cost sheet, you have 3,800 for lighting. What kind of lighting is that?
So,
is that
I mean,
at the event?
Yeah, so the idea is to really put on a professional event for the community. So that'll be lighting and AV. So there is money allocated for lighting AV and microphone and equipment.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so we're lucky that there was a redo of the park and there is a little stage that's there that we can utilize.
So that's a rental, right?
Correct.
And the kids' activity, how many kids? Well, you have a pretty big neighborhood between the 3, so it should be a lot of kids.
A lot of kids, and that's what we're collaborating with other organizations so they can bring in those activities for the children as well.
Okay. One last thing I noticed in your application, there was mention that Councilwoman Olivia Diaz's office is providing permit support.
Yeah, so through Friends of Huntridge Park. So Friends of Huntridge Park is a nonprofit organization. They're trying to build a public-private partnership with the city of Las Vegas to reopen up the park. So they're trying to take over the operations of Huntridge Park because it's been closed for a long time, and it remains closed, and it will remain closed until the city decides to reopen it, which I don't know if it'll happen anytime soon. But because Friends of Huntridge Park has been given access, they're in close conversation with Olivia Diaz and Parks and Recreation to facilitate and access the park.
Okay. I think that's, one last thing, I'm sorry. The donation of $3,000, the donation letter from Mandry.
Yes.
The invoice that they submitted was for only $1,000.
Correct. That is, so the MPF grant will pay for the material, which is the $1,000 that will be paid, and then the $3,000 in kind donations is the labor and the art
For the art.
For the art, correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
You'll have a good rest of the day. And then I just have a question for the other board members. I know that we're going till 12 today. Is there a preference of when we take a little break? Do people need to get up, use the restroom, stretch their legs? Okay, let me know if you need to. We'll keep going. Alrighty, so our next association is going to be Francisco Park Neighborhood Association. Welcome. Feel free to sit down and introduce yourselves and begin when you're ready.
We have handouts.
Excellent. City staff can get those to us. Thanks.
My name is Jennifer Minucci, and I am the Neighborhood Association President for Francisco Park.
Anthony Bondi. I was born in the neighborhood, raised in the neighborhood, and live in the neighborhood and do local arts. And I'm also the project manager.
This is our first time applying for the NPF grant, and we wanted to thank you for allowing us to be here today. We did submit a slideshow. So while that's being uploaded, has everyone received the handouts? Okay, great. This is not part of the slideshow, and I'll go through it really quick. So I wanted to give you some information historic to Francisco Park that I thought was really fun and pertinent. So for Francisco Park is rare in the idea that compared to all of the other historic downtown neighborhoods, we only had one builder, and that builder is Pardee Phillips, and they coined the term forever houses. Forever houses are unique in the fact that if you look at page 1 of the handout, they advertise to first-time homebuyers as living rent-free. And this is because they were either built as duplexes or homes where the garage could be, it was built to either stay as is or it could be converted into a attached casita. Page 3 of your handout is actually a photo of Mr. Bondi and his family. They are some of the first residents of Exley Avenue from 1954. That photo is from 57. So I believe that this is going to be a really great grant if we are allowed it, because a lot of folks in the neighborhood are not aware that the architects who built their homes are nationally recognized. It's Jones and Edmonds. This was their first venture inside of Southern Nevada when we had under 50,000 people living in Las Vegas. They formed Pardee Phillips in 1953. Originally, it was just 149 properties, which were the duplex models, which is now expanded to 360. And the reason we are named Francisco Park is because back in, way back then, in the 50s, Sahara was known as San Francisco Street. So it became common and popular for major casinos that rested on that street to then be named after the casino that they were near, like the Desert Inn, the Sahara. So it was then Sahara thereafter. So it was named after Francisco Street and Francisco Square, where now the Bonanza Gift Shop sits on 2424 Las Vegas Boulevard. These homes are very unique in the sense that they were great for first-time home buyers because they were built with not like the intention to have no obsolescence possible. They were only built of mortar, steel, and glass. They were coined as termite-proof, as as atomic bomb-proof, and also that they're deterioration-proof with a 20% fuel savings because of the materials used to build such homes. Most residents don't realize that they live in a home with such a distinguished pedigree. Jones and Edmonds were AIA Fellows, that's the American Institute of Architecture, and only 3% of those that are in the association become fellows. Also, they were the first, because of our neighborhood, to win the first 3 accredited awards for the American Home Builders Association. So I just wanted to give that backstory. And if you guys have my slideshow, I can continue.
Apologies, I think we're looking for it. Is
Nope,
that right?
no
Okay.
worries.
I'll mention, excuse me, just historically that, given that the housing tract faced San Francisco Street, it was the actual south edge of developed Las Vegas for maybe 5 to 10 years. If you looked past the tract towards south, you would see desert until you saw a little bit of Star of Henderson off in the distance. That's what San Francisco Park was in its day, the south edge of the city.
They were lovingly coined Southies in the 50s. San Francisco Park rests between, from north to south, St. Louis to Sahara, between east to west, 17th Street and Maryland Parkway.
Thank you. While we wait for the presentation, are there any questions any board members already have?
I have a copy of the slideshow on my phone I could forward.
Would that be helpful, Yohaska? It would? Okay.
Okay. Can I stand up?
Part of the value of Francisco Park was that it was designed, built at the very same time that St. Anne's Grade School, Temple Beth Shalom, and also Gorman High School were built. So it was expected that the family people who moved into Francisco Park would be sending their kids to one of these schools. And they were thinking about that. You know, the school is there, we're there, everybody's going to grow up together. And that was my experience. Also, there was, as we all know, in the whole area, a lot of mix of different income levels. And that also expressed itself in Francisco Park in the sense that there were middle class and wealthy people adjacent to each other all through the early history of the district, which was great, you know. And of course, strip access. You know, it was a pretty concerted private effort on the part of not Francisco Park, but the adjacent people to build Temple Beth Shalom may have been even 47, but St. Anne's and Gorman, the church, everything was 54 exactly when they opened up Francisco Park. So of course, easy to walk to school, and so these were neighborhoods designed for the kids to walk to. John C. Fremont up the street, about the same time that opened. So, and there was even a community pool for a period of time, which you could imagine doesn't fly today. But there was the thought that somehow the community would maintain this pool that was built by Party Phillips, that was donated to the entirety of the neighborhood, without an HOA. And, the kids had fun for a few years, and then that was the end of that.
Thank you for that history. Aha, I see the presentation. Can we get a few more minutes added to the clock for her to? It's just running. Okay. Two or three? Is that enough time?
I think so.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, so our neighborhood grant is applying for signage. Historic signage such has been granted to neighborhoods like Crestwood, Beverly Green, and Jonas Park. How do I know when to flip to the next slide? Do I hit something? Or? Okay. Sorry, thank you.
There we go.
Okay, so right now the challenge is that we lack visibility and our historical significance. We went to the purpose of the signage is to educate our neighbors and to have, right now we have an inconsistent neighborhood identity and wayfinding, and try to strengthen that community pride and sense of place. Right there, that is an old map of San Francisco Park in the 1950s. So our solution with the signage would be to highlight the historical significance of Francisco Park, improve wayfinding for visitors and residents, engage the community through collaboration and design, and create a lasting visual identity rooted in our local history. For community engagement, we started with Zoom meetings, which will continue thereafter if granted. The funds to continue the project: storytelling workshops with Mr. Anthony Bondi. Number 3 would be design workshops, and that we'll go into that with the 50-50 match we got with local residents of Francisco Park and those directly outside. And then to present the final signage for our neighbors and residents of Francisco Park to vote on which to choose. So these are the ways we're going to be outreaching: social media, neighborhood outreach, local community groups. So for neighborhood engagement, we are going to launch events, historical timelines with storytelling displays, photo opportunities, neighborhood cleanups to follow, maybe just to encourage engagement. I'd also like to notate that although not printed, our neighborhood demographic is 53% Hispanic. It has been a challenge for us to get these neighborhoods to come out, even for anything as serious as we had a issue with a local dry cleaner that had a plume underground, and even though we sent out materials, they would not respond to us when they were in danger zones. I feel right now, due to the current climate of our administration, that people are afraid to engage with their neighbors, and I would really hope that this will help do anything it can to get them to open their doors to us or answer their phones. These are the projected placement of signage, if permitted. Originally, we had submitted a bid, I believe, for $6,000. We were able to source local vendors and reduce that to $4,000. Impact short term, again, would just be wayfinding. Long term would be for neighbors to really engage and realize how much historical content exists within their neighborhood, and again, how special it is that this neighborhood is one of the first to be accredited, built by distinguished people within the architectural industry and case home studies. These are photos of currently of Francisco Park and of from past in the 1950s. That's what it looked like way back when. And these are our inspirations of neighborhoods that have come before us. And that's pretty much our presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and apologies for the technical difficulties. Are there any board members with questions? Seeing none, thank you so much. You covered all the bases.
Thank you for listening. Sorry for my stammering.
No, you're fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and with that, we can move on to the Fremont Street Loft Homeowners Association. Yes, feel free to hand those out there. And then when you're seated, you can introduce yourself and get started when you're ready. Thank you.
Hi, so we're with the Fremont Street Loft HOA. I'm John Shutt. I'm a resident of the Fremont Street Loft and the project leader on this.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Conyers. I am the president of the Fremont Street Loft.
So this is our second application for an NPF grant, and it's related to the same project. So we're working on revitalizing the landscaping in the urban common area. We're in a very densely packed townhome community on Fremont Street. And so adding more green space is really critical based on what we've gotten from neighbor feedback. So some background on our neighborhood. We're 70 homes, about 130 residents. As you probably remember, we had a really massive fire several years ago. I think the largest residential fire in Vegas history. And we've been going through the recovery process from that. We actually have neighbors that have been displaced for years that have now finally rebuilt their homes and starting to move back in, but still some homes that are under development. This has been a project that's given a lot of hope to the neighborhood. It's also aspirational, looking towards the future, so not just rebuilding, but how do you make the neighborhood better? How do you make it more beautiful and a pleasant place to live? And we've built a lot of strong community bonds through the recovery experience as well as through the first phase of this project. So we decided to do a new landscape master plan after talking with all of our neighbors, like what would we all want to do to make this neighborhood better? And we did the first phase in a partnership with the UNLV School of Architecture and Vert Studio, which is a landscape architecture practice in Las Vegas. And phase two is a continuation of that. It is contemplating civil work, which would bring some of those improvements that we have in this master plan from phase one to fruition. So we actually have a short recap video if you want to go back to this later of the presentations. The students did an incredible job. Community participation was really strong, hundreds of hours, brought a lot of people together. The residents really responded to this. And yeah, we had 16 students making really incredible projects and talking with our neighbors. So what you're seeing here are some of our early meetings between the students. They're touring the neighborhood, they're meeting the neighbors, they're getting ideas, they're sharing ideas. They did a deeper study of what's possible in the neighborhood, taking soil samples in some cases. I think drone footage. I think one of them was like doing that, measuring where the wind was coming through. It was actually a really educational experience about the layout of our neighborhood, as well as I think really interesting for the students because they could build or design something that is actually going to go into an implementation. So you can see some of their work at UNLV, and then ultimately a final presentation at City Hall, which Vanessa organized, which was really great because then the students were able to talk with representatives from the city, as well as Councilwoman Olivia Diaz, and really get to showcase all of the incredible stuff that they had done. So this is some of the work that they had done. There's 16 different projects. I would definitely check out the video. And it all goes into contributing to the master plan that our professional landscape architect put together. So that was phase one. Thank you so much for the phase one grant. Phase two, we are looking to do some civil engineering work to see if it would be feasible to expand the landscape space because it is really tight. In some cases, like just a really small box near the houses, it would be shifting fire lanes, which means that you need to get drawings, you need to collaborate with the fire department, which we do have a close relationship with them over the years of recovering from the fire. And then this would lead us into the phasing plan for construction. So we plan to continue this as an ongoing project, building out the neighborhood over the years, hopefully with NPF support. So yeah, this is the next phase, the civil engineering work, and the impact of this would be pretty huge. It's great to have therapeutic outdoor spaces. It's great to have places where people can actually gather. We do have neighborhood block parties sometimes that people are just hosting out of their garage, but this would give more open space outside of just in the street or in somebody's garage. And this would also reduce the urban heat island effect, improve air quality and ground permeability, and provide habitat. We are in one of the hottest areas of Las Vegas, and we're kind of at the bottom of a basin that collects a lot of smog. You have really bad air quality some days. I think a couple of weeks ago was actually pretty bad, like 151 on the quality ranking for most of the week, which was pretty rough. This would help a lot with that. Adding more plant life, adding more trees helps with all of that, and it would be a really impactful place to do it. So these are some stakeholders. Vert Studio, as I mentioned, they were our landscape architect for phase 1. They developed the master plan that was the delivery from that. We have a bid from Patchett Design Group for civil engineering. Right now, without a discount, we're sourcing additional bids, and the fire department is also a stakeholder. By and large, the community volunteer hours are going to be the contribution, and we plan to have bi-monthly neighborhood events and quarterly HOA meetings to work on it, as well as get specialized support from professionals. So our request is for a $10,000 NPF grant, which is going towards the project cost. We're working on bringing that total cost down. The community match is a mixture of professional services discounts from our landscape architect, as well as just property owner hours, and close coordination with the city, similar to the last grant, but instead of it being UNLV that we're coordinating with, we'll be coordinating with the fire department and relevant city agencies. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions? And I do want to put on the record also, this is Chair Becker, if we could get the video sent to us in an email, I would love to see the video, but I know we don't have time right now. Are there any other board members with questions? Yes.
For the record, Member Goodsell, you are an HOA, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any funds coming from the HOA? Has the board discussed this? You're adding an asset to an HOA, which I know does require a vote of like 80% approval from your members. Has any of this been addressed within your membership?
Thank you for that question. So we just got the finalized landscape plan on the 31st of March. We have our next HOA meeting at the last week of April. From previous HOA meetings, the homeowners have been very enthusiastic about increasing the amount of landscaping that we have in the community because we don't have any common space. We're a very tight 80 home community with the developer still on site after like 15 years. So right now we do believe that we would get people to vote yes for this because so many people have participated.
And are there any HOA funds, or are you planning all these phases to be fully funded from outside entities, or will the HOA be contributing to this or any in the future?
So the HOA has in the past for the phase 1, we've contributed about $5,000. The $5,000 that we got from the grant didn't cover all of our expenses, so we are expecting to put in from our reserve study the amount that is reasonable to get past the finish line. But for the most part, because the civil engineer is very expensive, we would end up phasing out even doing like a survey site study, which within our proposal was like $9,000, $9,900 alone. So we would be phasing it out because we don't have $39,000 to put towards this. So this whole process is going to be a phased out process for us.
Thank you.
And then just to add, just because we have the fire, that fire that happened, we're still recovering. We have litigation attorneys. The developer's still on site. We don't know when that's going to wrap up. So phasing it out also works in the timeline of waiting to get our community fully just under the HOA instead of having the developer on site.
So is the developer, Are you a full HOA, or is it still partially the developer is part of the HOA?
Well,
Has
so
it
their
converted all the
building
way over
burned
to
out.
you?
Their building burned out houses still, so their property was the part that burned down.
Okay,
That affected a bunch of other houses that were already turned over to the HOA.
okay. But it has been turned over?
It has been turned over, but they're still on site.
Okay.
It's unusual.
It is, it's a little quirky.
Yeah.
That sounds complicated. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Any other questions? Member Tramp?
Matthew Tramp here for the record. So last year's project, it was last year, correct?
Yeah.
So that thing was all full and done. Everything was in good standing. You got the grant amount that you requested that we approved. Okay. Like you said, so all this is going through reserve funds for your, again, are you keeping your reserve fund amount to go like, and we know HOAs are, states get on HOAs to keep their reserve funds high. I personally know that, so.
So for us, it's a great question you ask. The HOA has been increasing our, I guess, yearly fee to the members, just because there was in the past a problem with the developer not paying assessment. So we clawed back last year with our council like $30,000 that the developer owed us, and we're still increasing the amount of our basically our association fees just because we're trying to make ourselves whole again.
Keep your reserve fund at a certain level, yeah. I know you're supposed, they want us to keep it at a certain percentage, I know. So now, since a fire was due to most of your projects, was insurance, did the HOA get insurance on any of this, or are you still working on that?
We got limited insurance, not enough to recover, so that's why we are.
Your deductible didn't meet it?
Yeah.
Well, that's why we have a litigation ongoing right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
the insurance is tied in with all of that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't see any other questions. I just wanted to say, as a UNLV graduate with an environmental studies degree, I really appreciate your addressing environmental justice. The heat island effect, air quality, all those things are really important to be addressing. So I really appreciate you included that in the project.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. All right, so we're a little bit more than halfway done with the agenda. Does anybody on the board want to take a quick break?
I move for a break.
Move for a break. All right. We don't need to vote on that, right? Okay. Say we could take a 12-minute break, be back at 10:45. Everybody in their seats ready to go? All right, so we will be in recess until 10:45. All right, this is Chair Becker. I'm going to call this Neighborhood Partners Fund Board meeting back to order. We are on agenda item 7, and we finished with Fremont Street Loft Homeowners Association. So our next association is Glen Heather Estates Neighborhood Association. Welcome. Feel free to get comfortable at the desk and introduce yourselves, and go ahead. If you have a handout, you can give it to staff. Thank you.
No handout. Oops. Hello, my name is Shelley Walters, and I'm the president of Glen Heather Estates Neighborhood Association.
And I'm Nicholas Bennett, Shelley's next door neighbor and the treasurer for our association.
And your project manager.
Project manager.
Okay, here's our thing. Okay, hello everyone. I already said my name. And so I'm Shelley Walters, president of Glen Heather Association. We're a neighborhood of 182 homes located at the southeast corner of Rancho and Oki. Our neighborhood was established in 1954. Our neighborhood project is the Glen Heather Estates Clean Up and Party Down project. We're asking the Neighborhood Partners Fund for $10,000 to make this happen. With the help of MPF, our previous projects have been successful. In 2013, we designed and built a monument sign for our neighborhood. In 2016, we painted the exterior wall of our neighborhood along Rancho. And in 2018, we had a Halloween-themed block party. In 2020, we had a neighborhood cleanup with refreshments. And in 2021, we had our second annual Glen Heatherween block party. In 2022, we had our third annual Glen Heatherween block party. In 2023, we had, ooh, what happened? Did I do that? Okay. Which one is that?
That's the
2022, we had our third annual, okay. In 2023, we had our fourth annual Glen Heatherween block party. And in 2024, we had our fifth annual Glen Heatherween block party. This year, we are hoping to do a neighborhood cleanup and a block party. The cleanup would begin with a community yard sale, then a donation drive afterwards for local Las Vegas charities. Do I keep doing that? Okay. Then we would add new neighborhood watch signs. Our neighborhood watch signs are looking really rough. And spruce up the monument sign. The letters are kind of looking old and stuff, and we have a neighbor that's going to donate the money to do that. Then we're going to get 9 30-yard dumpsters from Republic Services for yard and other trash that would be delivered, and then we're going to have 3 paper shredding bins from Opportunity Village. We'll also have, during this time, we're going to do the neighborhood cleanup's going to be like a week. During this time, we're going to have different vendors like landscapers, gardeners, that sort of thing, give discounts for yard cleanup and that sort of thing. And then on the last day of our cleanup, these pictures are from our last neighborhood cleanup. We'd like to have some sort of informal refreshments where neighbors come and get food and stuff like that. Then the other part of our project, would be a block party at a separate time of year. The block party would start with securing the permits from the city and the insurance from Allstate. And then we're going to have Mob deliver the barricades for us. Then RSV party rentals and the decorations, tablecloths, beverages, all of that stuff, we would get that set up. Then a food truck from Quality Food Service would do our food. and the mobile DJ that lives in our neighborhood would be there for music entertainment, and he also donates that. And the quality food service also gives us a large discount on our food. There will be activities for the kids as well. Ooh, sorry, I skipped this one. What's a party without a photo stop? So we'll have a place where people can take pictures and that sort of thing, like we've done in the past. There will be activities for kids and a 50-50 raffle drawing, along with other raffle prizes donated by neighbors and surrounding businesses. Then we'll have the 3-hour block party with music, dancing, and most of all, fun. Both projects will give us, the neighbors, a chance to work together. It'll benefit the neighborhood in so many ways, like our past projects have, and they'll really get to experience a sense of community, and both projects will give us the opportunity to meet new neighbors and create new relationships. How do I get the next one? Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your time from Glen Heather Estates.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions from board members?
Sorry.
Yes, this is Member Wong. So let's say you don't receive any grant funding this year. Do you have something in reserves or budget for your proposed events?
We are a volunteer neighborhood association. We're not an HOA. So all of our funds that we have are donations from neighbors. And Nick's the treasurer. How much do we have in our account?
Currently, we have less than $1,000 in our account.
Yeah,
so.
and typically during the block parties, the grant funds don't cover our insurance costs, and that runs about $400 for a 3-hour event. So the association usually pays for that, and then picks up some of the other costs. But we do fundraisers in the neighborhood, like the 50-50 drawing is a really good fundraiser for us during our meetings and different events, and people buy raffle tickets, and then we have a drawing, and the winner gets half of that money, and the association gets the other half. And then we do get donations from other people as well, but yeah, it would be rough.
Thank you. Any other questions? Member Flank?
Yes, Member Flank. A couple of questions. The shredding, is that on site? Or is that bins and then someone comes to pick them up?
Yes, it's Opportunity Village, and I actually have one of their bins at my house because I'm a realtor and I have a lot of sensitive documents. So how that works is they drop them off for a cost, and you fill it up, and it's locked. It has a slot and a lock on it, and then they come and pick them up.
Okay. Is this, the block party, will that be an Halloween event?
I'm not sure. We have had, obviously, it's been a tradition. And last year, we did not apply for a grant. And we did our Glen Heatherween just on Halloween, and all the neighbors came outside to give candy, and we decorate. You saw some of the decorations in the pictures, but everybody decorates for Halloween, and it's a really big deal. So we almost kind of thought that maybe we wanted to do a different theme for our block party, and then do the Halloween as a separate event, so we have more events throughout the year for the neighborhood.
So I looked at the Republic Services invoice.
Yes,
And
it's large.
that's per bin, the $430 plus $50 delivery.
The total cost for the 9
something.
dumpsters is $4,230. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah. And he did give us a discount. I forget what the separate price was for each one, but he did give us a discount on the dumpsters, and I think that is in my application, actually.
Okay. Another question, your neighborhood watch signs,
Yes.
how many signs are you looking?
I think it's 12?
Oh, okay. Now, those signs are provided by the association. I thought they actually came from,
No, they come from Metro.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so we have to order them from Metro, and we have neighborhood watch signs now. We're very active. And, except our signs are getting really old, you know? And when you have old signs like that, people think, oh, they don't care
They're not
anymore.
paying
So,
attention.
yeah, so they definitely need to spruce up. But yeah, they would be purchased from Metro, and then they would also be placed by, I think the last time, I don't know if the city placed them or if Metro placed them, but.
I'm surprised that, I knew they came from Metro, but I didn't know they charged for them. I thought those were given to neighborhoods, but.
No, they do. The first
there's a
time we
cost.
purchased them, they were $15 each, and I think the price has gone up a little bit. I think they're $42 now, is that what it says? Yeah.
Okay. So you guys think you need 9 bins from Republic Services?
Yes,
for the
we-
one day?
Yes, well, it's not for one day. We have them for a week.
Oh, I see.
Yes, we have them for a full
Okay.
week. And in the neighborhood cleanup that we did before, we did the same thing. And we placed them at different areas in the neighborhood. So everybody would be close to a bin where they could bring their stuff.
Okay.
And it worked out really, really well. I don't know if you want to add anything to
Yeah, that was
but it
probably
was-
one
it
of the.
was fabulous.
Surprisingly, a lot of people can't afford to do, not surprisingly that they can't afford it, but that they were that popular was surprising. Because people have,
everybody's
a couch, you
Stuff.
can't just throw it in the trash, you have to do certain things for Republic Services, but getting the dumpsters, people loved it. And we place them, every, 2 per block or however we space it out so that everyone's in kind of close proximity. And then there's a group of neighbors that go around and help some of the older neighbors with, if they have something large that they can't carry and.
Yeah, we get a lot of the younger.
Yeah, to help out, do the
younger
bulk stuff to move.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. In the interest of time, maybe one more quick question?
Member Goodsell, just a quick, how much is the shredding bins from Opportunity Village?
There's 3, and I think I'm gonna say $60 each or $50 each with a delivery fee or a pickup fee. So it comes to $136, I believe.
Member Estrada?
Board Member Estrada, how many homes are in this neighborhood?
182.
182. Thank you.
Our block parties, typically we have about 250, and we just track that by how many meals are served. So, it could be more, it could be less, but usually we have about 250.
All right. Thank you so much for coming. Glad to see you back. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right. It looks like our next organization is Grand Entries Neighborhood Association. Please feel free to get settled. If you have any handouts, the city
We have a presentation. Oh,
can
so
pass them
it's
out.
up. I see it's up.
All right, perfect.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Please introduce yourself and go ahead when you're ready.
Excuse me, this is Board Member Estrada. I need to recuse myself because of a conflict of interest.
Perfect.
Grand
Thank you,
Entries.
Member
Thank you.
Estrada. So that is in the record that Member Estrada is recusing himself from this association. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, it's right here. Okay.
Hi, Deputy City Attorney for Slevy Gallicate for the record. Can you please address the conflict? Member Estrada?
Yes, I'm actually the board president for the Neighborhood Association.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Terry Cox. I'm the Vice President of the Grand Entries Neighborhood Association. I appreciate the opportunity to address the board here. We are a new neighborhood association. We were recognized by the city in March of last year, so we're into our 13th month. This is the board that we currently have. Robert is the board president. The project lead for this is going to be Bob Pratt. He's not here today. He's dealing with an ailing parent, and so he's out of town, so I'm going to run with the presentation here. I want to note at the bottom of this slide here, you'll see grandentries.org. We have a website. I would encourage you to take a look at it. You can kind of see what we've done and how we've been communicating with our neighborhood and soliciting feedback and support from our community to propose a project that would have broad support. Our neighborhood was built between 1994 and 96. It comprises 404 homes, single-family homes. It is in the northwest part of the valley. If you go up 95 to Ann Road and take a right, you'll come to a light. That's Tenaya. If you go through that light, we're immediately on your left. We're not an HOA. We're a neighborhood association. And it's 30 years old. And we have some deferred maintenance that is accumulating and is an issue, primarily with our external walls to the subdivision as a whole and some of the internal walls. So if I can leave you with one thing from this presentation is we have tremendous need in our neighborhood. 10,000 is what we're asking for. And what we're going to do is if you look at the bottom of this slide here, it's kind of, I wish I had a pointer, is Ann Road, and the entrance, the far entrance on the right there is what we're talking about. We're working on a beautification project for that area. And it was important, since we have so much need, is to get support from the community that this is the right first project. And we did have a town hall, and the consensus was this was a worthy project, and there was a broad support for it. But it's just one project, and we're going to be coming back probably every year because the need is so great. We broke down the project into certain goals. First of all, we don't know. We're asking for 10,000, but we don't know exactly what we're going to get. I'm assuming we're going to get something, but who knows? And so these are the goals that we're looking at. And I'm going to just jump to this head here real quickly here. This is a little bit, so this is the main entrance here on Ann Road in Grand Sierra. And so this is the general area. So I'm going to go back one slide so we can talk about the goals. We want to remove some diseased trees that are dwarfs. There's some fencing on the right, and I will get back to that in a minute, where we have junior high school kids who congregate there while they're waiting for their bus, and they jump up on a fence. And they've been yanking on that for about 30 years. And so it's a bit of a safety and an aesthetic issue. So that's part of our plan, that we want to get that fixed. It's not just for aesthetics. It's a safety issue for our kids. There are kids, and we'll talk to them and tell them not to do that. But after 30 years, it needs to be fixed. And we do have support from the homeowner there. Has made a significant pledge towards that project. We also have some loose gravel on the right of the walkway. I'll show you in a minute. We also want to trim trees. Now, if you don't trim the trees, they become, after a period of time, kids have learned that they can take their lighters out and light those trees on, and they quite a spectacle. And so we want to trim those trees to protect the trees and save the trees. We also have some telecom boxes that have graffiti on them. We want to paint them. We're doing our quarterly cleanups, and then we're going to have a project social event at the end. Has that been 5 minutes already? Okay. Anyway, so this is the main entrance. Couple of the trees here in the, are going to be removed. More trees on the right of the walkway are going to be removed. Here's some gravel. That's going to be moved. This year, this is where I want to really show where this is a safety issue where kids have been pulling this off. So we want to fix this, get some concrete, some rebar, paint it, fix it all up, make it nice and safe. Here, this is where some of the gravel is going to be pulled out. At the very bottom, you can see a couple pictures where we show what it would look like with artificial turf. Here's some more pictures. Oh, hold on. Here's some more pictures of the improvement. So it's basically a beautification project for the main entrance. There's only 3 entrances to the whole neighborhood. This is the main entrance, and this is the one that we had broad public support to do. And here's some utility boxes. You'll notice in the bottom left-hand corner, that's Councilwoman Nancy Bruni, who's participated in a couple of our efforts. We wanted that fixed up. And here's some ideas of what could go on there on your right side of that slide. Here's some things that we've done in the past, cleaning up the neighborhood, and we're going to continue doing that. And here's reaching out to find out, get quotes. And we're going to match the grant, 125% of it. So it's primarily going to be labor, but there are pledges, and we expect pledges to keep coming in. So with that, I'm sorry I went over the limit. Let's see, I might have some backup slides here. Here's some of the things we've done. Again, these are some pictures of activities that we've done in the last year or so. And that purple thing there is our website, and you can go there and find out a lot of information about our neighborhood. And, right here, just this slide here I want to spend just a minute on, a few seconds on. Is this just some of the pictures? We have a lot many more pictures of just the need in the neighborhood. So we really do need the money. We are committed to matching it, and we're standing up as a neighborhood association. So I'm very encouraged by the feedback that we're getting. And this is just a drop in the bucket of what we need to do as a community. So with that, I'll wrap it up. Thank you very much for your time. I'm welcome to answer your questions.
Thank you so much. This is Chair Becker for the record. I will say that I live very close to your community, and I've walked all these streets multiple times.
Oh, have you?
And I can attest that, you know, after years of use and people using the neighborhood, that a lot of these improvements are necessary. So.
Yes. Yes, and as a community, we've come together and say, hey, we have to do something. Nothing's going to fix this but ourselves. This grant's a great catalyst for us to get organized and stand up. And it's hard. We're kind of building an organization, and this grant is really helping us. We really need it. Really applaud the city for having this. Thank you for your time, for volunteering to be here to help, you know, figure out which ones to fund and which ones not to. So really appreciate this whole effort.
Thank you for being here, and I appreciate how many community members that you've got on board with this too. That was really impressive. Are there any other board members with questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Member Goodsell, for the record, who owns those walls? Who owns the land where the
they are privately, let me see, find a picture. It's
So
so
let me
small
finish.
here.
Let me finish my question.
Oh, sorry.
So who owns it, and who is responsible for the maintenance of the walls, including the iron fence? Also, who owns the property where the palm trees are being addressed, and who is responsible for their maintenance?
That's a very good question. All of this is private property. We've been working with the homeowners, and right now the trees aren't really being maintained. We occasionally pass the hat and go trim the trees. We are trying to formalize a way to maintain those trees. They're not on irrigation. They just get natural water. So it's
So with
private
that,
property.
if it's private property, then do you have plans to get releases from the homeowners for especially, particularly that, the wrought iron repair? And what that's going to require? Do you have a way to release the neighborhood association from any responsibility if you are now maintaining it? Do you have documents to alter? Otherwise, it's the private homeowner's responsibility to maintain it, correct?
Yes, it's private property, it's their responsibility, but they're not being forced by any entity, the city or anyone, to fix it. We're coming together as a community saying, this is a problem, we want to fix it, here's a grant, the homeowner's on it, and we're going to do what we have to do to maintain it.
So will there be waivers signed? Otherwise, I mean, there'll be liability issues if it is not the homeowner, if they've got to allow homeowners, other people to come on the property to repair it. I mean, have those issues been addressed on, because it is private property, you have really, it's not like it's an HOA common ground.
Right.
But any waivers addressed on how to allow another entity to come in? Will the homeowner repair it and then they're reimbursed? So there are some uniquenesses with it being private property. I'm just wondering if any consideration has been taken to address that uniqueness in that way.
No, other than identifying what the problem is and trying to fix it and get it back to a point where it used to be 30 years ago, we really haven't got to the point. I would like to see the neighborhood association take more formalized, because it's such an important part of the community, because everyone's affected by it, right? It is private property, but we do want to improve it for the community. You get into the legal waivers, this and that. I don't believe that that's really been addressed, but it's private property. We're going to come together and fix it, and then move forward with it. But there is no like legal documents and waivers and liability and this kind of thing. It's a problem. We want to fix it. The homeowners are on board. That's about the best I can tell you on that.
This is Chair Becker. I was going to let Yohaska weigh in and see what Neighborhood Services had to say on this topic.
Hi, Joska Garceta, Neighborhood Services. I only wanted to mention that we do notify them that if they're going to have a project that is on private property, that we would need permission from the property owner to do any work on their property. Obviously, if the property was sold, then the new owner can make a decision to remove anything that was put on that property, and they are notified of that. But yeah, we always let them know that we can't do any projects on private property without those permissions.
Yeah, and we do have the permission, particularly on the east side. We're still working with the owner on the left side, the west side. So we do have support from the homeowner.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions, Member Trent?
This is mostly my suggestion.
Oh, yeah.
I prefer you guys some time from now and we make the decision to approve the grants that you do have documentation that these private owners do sign a waiver to get consent to doing these projects, because if I don't see a legal document,
we do have,
but not all of them you don't have, correct?
Well, the homeowner on the east side, Lori Nitschke, we do have a pledge. She made a very significant pledge, over $1,000, and we have her support for this project, but we don't have a physical document other than the pledge itself.
And with legal counsel, can you go, is a pledge enough for legal, or would they need the proper documentation?
Deputy City Attorney Chris Levigalke for the record. That pledge wouldn't necessarily give any liability release to the association or the city to say that they are not going to be maintaining the property or the fixtures that are in place. So that would need to be a separate document. I don't know if Neighborhood Services has any form, but it does mention in the actual agreement that that has to be included with the application. So that's something that they can get from the owners at a later time.
Well,
I would suggest that they have all those done before the time we do have our meeting to approve our deliberation meeting before Because I'd be hesitant to approve it if we don't have all those documentations. So.
Okay, I'll work with neighborhood services and legal and to get whatever documents that you need for this.
Yeah, and they'll help you.
Okay.
Your ins and outs, and
Okay.
they'll tell you whether you're cleared or not. So
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Member Flank, did you have a question? Thank you so much. And yes, we will be at the meeting too after this. So tomorrow we have more of these presentations, and then we have a deliberations meeting where we talk about the project specifically, and we might have more questions. But if we needed any more documentation, we would go through neighborhood services and they would ask you. Okay? All right, thank you so much. I believe our next association is Hillside Heights Neighborhood Association. All right, thank you so much. And just a quick reminder, you have 5 minutes for the presentation. We've got 5 minutes for questions, so feel free to introduce yourself and get started when you're ready.
My name is Jared McClung. I'm the president of the Hillside Heights Neighborhood Association.
And hi, my name is John James. I'm a resident of Hillside Heights neighborhood.
So we are here to present the proposal for the Neon Lights Hillside Heights Neighborhood Joint Day of Action. So we're collaborating with the Huntridge and the Crestwood associations. I believe this is the first of sorts. And I believe you've already heard from Crestwood. This particular community juncture, it's to bring the people together and improve our neighborhood and create lasting connections. So our previous grant projects, we had back in 2001, 2002, we had a supported shared garden tool program, which encouraged neighborhoods to work together and take pride in their community. Today, we're building the same foundation, but expanding it to something larger, more visible and more impactful. Our proposal is built around three key phases: dog waste and art infrastructure installation. We're going to be installing these art installation pieces, which are those. It's going to take approximately 5 to 10 volunteers at 4 hours each. We'll be digging and doing concrete and putting them in our neighborhood. There's going to be 10 in placement within our community. Each of the three neighborhoods each have 10. I think it's going to allow us to keep our neighborhoods cleaner, and it gives us a unique artistic identity to our neighborhood. This is the local artists that are going to be creating the art pieces for us. He has several projects within the downtown community already. He's a known artist within the community. The day of action, morning neighborhood cleanup, another part of the grant is going to be used for a neighborhood cleanup. We're going to be taking our volunteers and cleaning up weeds, trash, debris within the neighborhood, and hopefully making it just a cleaner, more inviting space for our neighbors to enjoy. Once we are done with the cleanup, the people that attend the cleanup will receive wristbands to get free entry. Well, everything's free, but they'll get free meals with the wristbands. And our portion of the community celebration is regarding the DJs, the stilt walkers, face painting, so on and so forth. Each part of our associations are taking a different lead in it. This is ours. We are hoping that to get a total of $8,000 grant. Partnerships will be with Old Manny's, Yukon Pizza, the Cookie Bar, They're providing food, live local DJs. So the event is going to be a neon themed, and it's going to have fluorescent face painting for our neighbors to enjoy, and the little fluorescent things around the necks. These are some of the live activities. And the most important thing is more than one day. By doing this collaboration with all the different neighborhood associations, we're 3 specific neighborhoods that adjoin. We're hoping that this will invite our neighbors to more unity, and we get to use our Circle Park, which has been kind of out of the loop for a while. I sat on multiple committees for Circle Park, as well as this committee in the past, so I know that it's important. We got to use it or lose it, and hopefully this will help us create new love for that area and bring everyone together. And these are our partnerships with the Huntridge Park, NUWU, the LGBTQ, 18B Arts District, and the Academy. These are our access and investments. Everything is in the packet that we provided with that. And our goal is to create something new and different, and hopefully be able to move forward with this project. I think that's it.
Thank you. This is Chair Becker. I just would like to say I love the collaboration with the center and LVA, especially getting everybody in the general area into your neighborhood. I did have one quick question.
Sure.
I know there's like really heavy ongoing construction right now on the road around the Huntridge Park. Is that supposed to be finished before you want to do the party?
So we've been in touch with the city and the people that are doing the construction, and supposedly within the next 3 months it should be opened up, where we'll be able to, and this project, if it's funded and everything, won't be until probably in the May area of next year. So it'll be later in to the year, so we won't have any of that problems. But yeah, the Maryland project is kind of problematic right now, but we're hoping that that will free up, and the more we use the park, the more the neighbors will get joy out of it. And this will bring neighbors to the park and be able to enjoy the festivities.
Nice, thank you so much. Any other board members have questions? Member Flank?
Yes, Member Flank. You have 3 communities that are working together to do the install of the art, and how is that going to work? Are you guys, the community, scheduling different days, or how is that going to work?
So each association, the Crestwood, Hillside Heights, and Huntridge, we all meet, we meet and we discuss everything. Our goal is each one will kind of do their own thing for the installation of the art. For the cleanups, we're all going to have it the same day, and that's going to be co-aligned with the event. So the people that are doing the cleanup, kind of we've cleaned up our neighborhood, now we're going to go celebrate and do the event. But as far as the installation of the dog things, each neighborhood will do their own timeline on that.
Okay, and then the big party will be all 3 communities together?
Correct. Okay. Yep, all 3 neighbors. And we are aligned where it goes Huntridge, Hillside, and Crestwood. So we're adjoined, all 3 of us. And so it's a big, old neighborhood. I've lived in my house since 1998. I've been involved with the neighborhood association. I actually started it back in 2000. So it's a big event, and we're hoping that by collaborating all 3 associations, it'll give us more power within the neighborhood, so everybody kind of joins together.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Seeing no other questions, thank you for your time.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you for your time.
All right. We are going to close out agenda item 7 with Hillstone Estates, and then we're going to move right into agenda item 7A right after that. So we've got our last 2. So if there is someone here from Hillstone Estates. Welcome. Yep, if you have handouts, please feel free to give them to staff here and they'll make sure we get them. And then you can take a seat at the table and introduce yourself and start whenever you would like.
I'm Jimmy Barlow, representing Hillstone Estates. We are a small community, 29 homes, but we like to think that we punch above our weight in terms of community impact. Respectfully requesting funding to help out with lighting project at the front entrance of our community. If everyone has the folders, just a little bit of a background. The first two pictures are of our front entry wall. The wrought iron at the top is a grant-funded project helped us out with. Initially, without the wrought iron at the top, people were able to hop right over the wall and into the community, and it was resulting in 6 to 9 incidents per year of burglaries, car burglaries, and residential burglaries in the neighborhood. After the grant-funded installation of the wrought iron, it was reduced to 1 incident within the last 2 years. And that one was as a result of some folks driving into the neighborhood following one of the residents that opened the gate. But they really helped us out in terms of safety. The ones that are hardest hit and impacted are the community school kids in our community because they have to go back and get their key to open up the entry as opposed to just jumping over the wall. So there was some wailing and gnashing of teeth over that, but they'll get over it. The next couple of pictures represent the last project that was funded, and it is ground lighting that we had. We had approximately 55 lights installed in 2003, actually, with the beginning of the neighborhood. Maybe 30% of the lights were working prior to the repair. And it resulted in significant additional lighting to the area. So we really appreciate the funding for that project. We still need more lighting for that front area. What we'd like to do is to get more of the seniors to come out, and they like to exercise early morning and late in the evening when it's cooler, particularly in the summertime. But we just don't have a lot of lighting in that area. So we kind of hope that, for a lot of reasons, safety reasons, we like to get more lighting, which brings us to our present request. We'd like to get more lamp posts. That will be the following, I don't know what number that would be, but there's a picture with a call box and a lamp post next to it. We have 2 lamp posts in the front. They don't offer a lot significant lighting. We like to get maybe 8 more of the posts in that front entry area. And if you'll look at the lamp post next to the call box, you'll notice there are some string lighting which is strung around the lamp post. That's our embarrassingly meager attempt to get more lighting there. It's solar lights. And it doesn't illuminate a lot more, but anything that we can get in terms of illuminating that area and that the front entry, we will take. So we like lamp posts in that area. That is our entry. The next gate represents our entry gate. We'd like to get a couple of lamp posts in that area. And the last page is the entry to our community, and that street just outside the community is Pioneer, and for about a quarter mile, it is virtually dark. I was going to take a picture to show, but when I took the first picture, it was just a black page, so I didn't want to, waste the copying services for 20 black pages. It's pretty dark out there. So any additional lighting that we get would actually help out with the Pioneer street lighting, at least in front of our community. Any other lighting is just residences along Pioneer, but it's really pretty dark out front. And that is the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Look at that timing. Thank you so much. Are there any board members with questions?
This
Member Wong?
is Board Member Wong, right here. So you received grant funding in 2024 for lighting. That's the floor floodlights?
That is, yeah, approximately 50 to 55. 35% of them were actually working, so it was the retrofitting of the ground lighting and replacements, yeah.
So what you're asking for this cycle is the lamp posts?
Lamp posts, yes, for the front. Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying.
Member Tramp?
Yes, Member Tramp here. Are you looking at doing LED lighting? They're a lot more brighter and they're more energy efficient.
You know, that was the recommendation actually from a number of the vendors that came out. We said whatever gets it brighter out there, we will take, and that was the recommendation actually.
Because I'll vouch for myself. My condominium community, we converted last year to LED lighting, and our community likes it. It's a lot easier to see too. Everyone's liked it on ours, so I would advise, I won't mandate, that you consider LED lighting. That's been the advice of the experts. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so appreciate that. Thank you.
Member Goodsell, for the record, you will also like the bill of an LED light over incandescent lighting for sure going long-term down the road. Does your HOA have a line item budget for this lighting or any future lighting? Are they contributing to these ongoing projects in any way?
Yes, they have in the past with the ground lighting and with this one also, yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I would like to thank you. I've been in your community as well, and it's beautiful, and I look forward to more lighting at the entrance.
29 homes, we punch above our weight. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so that finishes out item number 7. We're going to go to item number 7A, which is Rancho Nevada Estates Homeowners Association. Thank you. And if you have any handouts, please feel free to hand them to the staff. They can get them to us, and you can take a seat and introduce yourselves and begin when you're ready.
My name is Donna Smith, and I'm on the HOA board for Rancho Nevada Estates.
And my name is Darby Fitzpatrick Reaper. I'm the secretary for the board for Rancho Nevada Estates.
And we are coming today to introduce you to our neighborhood and ask for grant funding for a welcome or monument sign for the entrance of our neighborhood. Our first homes were built in 1963. Our HOA was not formed until 1994, which has caused a few quirks in our neighborhood that we'll get into in a little bit. Just some of the residents that have lived in our neighborhood. We've had a Nevada governor, casino executive, judges, basketball coaches, city council people, and a comedian. Multiple houses in our neighborhood have received HGTV makeovers, and one of the houses in our neighborhood was a mob house that was featured in the movie Casino. We're applying for the $10,000 grant to help fund a permanent neighborhood entrance sign to highlight our identity and leverage an underutilized entryway point and turn that into a welcoming landmark that promotes neighborhood pride, encourages community engagement, and contributes to a more inviting public realm. We have volunteers that are going to gather different signage options for us, weigh those, and then present those to the community to vote on. We have volunteers that are going to come out and help clean up the area where the signage is going to be located. And we have volunteers that are going to coordinate our sign reveal party. So we're hoping to be able to get this done by the fall so that we can take advantage of the nice weather and have a little street party right there at our entrance, and invite all the neighbors to come and celebrate. On the next page, you can just see some signs in the area. We are not a historic neighborhood in the sense that we haven't been designated as one officially, but we've been there for a long time. So these are just, again, some of the neighborhoods around us that have signage. We do not. The next image that you can see on the presentation deck is what our current entrance looks like now. You can see there are 2 columns there where probably it makes sense for the monument signage to go, so we don't have to do any reconstruction in that area. We just need to add to what's already there. And then on the next page is some renderings for some signage quotes that we've already received to show what it could look like. We are a hybrid neighborhood in the fact that not everyone in our neighborhood belongs to our HOA, since it was formed after the HOA was formed after the neighborhood was formed. Because of that, we have some people who contribute to the HOA, some people who don't contribute to the HOA. Everybody benefits from the HOA. But the one thing that we do have is we all love our neighborhood. We're committed to its continued success and its sense of community. The community voting process for the signage will allow for all the neighbors to come together in a fun, celebratory way, even if you're not a paying member of the HOA. And the welcome signage will just help us bring us all together in one neighborhood under one name with a shared sense of pride and belonging. And we do have, some funds set aside in our HOA budget to help fund the signage. And then we have the volunteer hours. And then one of the things that we were just talking about that I didn't include in here is once the sign is there, it becomes a permanent part. So the maintenance and the upkeep for the signage will come under our reserves and will be able to be maintained in an ongoing manner. Any questions? And did I hit my 5 minutes?
Yes, you were great on time.
I was hoping to hit my 5 minutes.
Any questions from board members? No, seeing none. This is Chair Becker. I just had one comment. In the future, if you want to not print things and you just want to put it up on the screen, they can run it for you. But that's just
I know. I
comment
just
for you.
could not get it together to get the presentation in on time, so I apologize.
No, you're fine. So there are no questions from board members, is that right? All right.
All right,
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, have a great day.
You too.
Okay, so that closes out item 7A, which is the bulk of our agenda today. Item 8 is another round of public comment, citizens' participation. So public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the board. No subject may be acted upon by the board unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. And if anyone wishes to be heard, which it doesn't look like they will be, come forward, give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. I see no one in the room who could do public comment, so I will close out item 8, and I believe we are ready to adjourn. So this meeting is closed.